stop scrolling for a second, because what I'm about to tell you will completely change the way you see yourself and the way anyone who tries to control you sees you. Most people will never say this out loud, but I will. Narcissists are terrified of independent women, and I'm not talking about being strong on the outside. I'm talking about a power so deep, so unstoppable, that it cuts straight to their weakness. It's the kind of power that exposes their lies, shatters their control, and leaves them powerless. Imagine someone who thrives on manipulation, control, and bending people to their will. Now imagine facing someone who refuses to bend, who refuses to let anyone dictate their life. That is the reality narcissists fear more than anything. And when they encounter a woman like this, they panic. They see in her what they will never be: authentic, unshakable, and entirely self-sufficient. Every boundary she sets, every choice she makes for herself, every act of self-respect is a threat to their carefully constructed illusion of control. And here's the shocking part most people never understand. Their fear is proof of her power. The more they panic, the more you realize that independence is not just a trait, it is a weapon, a shield, and a declaration that no one, not even the most controlling person, can touch your life. So if you want to truly understand what makes narcissists tremble, if you want to see the truth about why some people can't stand strong, independent women, stay with me. By the end of this video, you're going to see something that will change everything. The secret they'll never admit, the fear they can't hide, and the power you've been carrying all along without even realizing it. Let's start with the core truth that most people are too afraid to admit. Narcissists are terrified of independent women. And when I say independent, I'm not talking about financial independence alone, or being able to do your own laundry, or even having a career. I'm talking about a deep, unshakable independence that lives in the mind, the heart, and the soul. It's the kind of independence that refuses to bow to anyone's manipulation, that refuses to compromise your values, and that refuses to hand over your life to someone who thinks they deserve control over it. This is what cuts through a narcissist armor, and it terrifies them more than anything else. Narcissists build their entire sense of self on control. They live in a world where validation, attention, and dominance are currency, and they are experts at taking it from those around them. Their power comes from bending people to their will, shaping others' emotions, and keeping everyone in a constant state of dependence. It's not just a habit, it's their survival mechanism. And when a woman walks into their life who does not need them, who cannot be bent, who refuses to play by their rules, it exposes the hollowness of their power. Suddenly, their carefully constructed world is fragile and they feel exposed. Think about it for a moment. When a narcissist meets an independent woman, she becomes a mirror they cannot look away from. Every boundary she sets, every decision she makes for herself, every moment she asserts her autonomy reflects back their insecurities. It's not that she is doing anything to attack them directly. She is simply existing as herself, fully aware of her worth, and that is enough to make them panic. They see in her what they could never achieve: self-possession, self-respect, and an unwavering sense of identity. This is why independent women are not just intimidating, they are dangerous in the narcissist's eyes, because they expose the fundamental truth narcissists spend their lives hiding. They are weak. Their control is an illusion. Their power is borrowed, and their identity depends on keeping others small. An independent woman does not play into their games. She does not seek their approval. She does not beg for their attention, and she certainly does not allow herself to be manipulated. Every act of self-determination, every choice made with clarity and confidence is a crack in the narcissist's carefully constructed reality. It's also worth understanding the psychology behind this fear. Narcissists are not accustomed to genuine equality in relationships. They are not equipped to handle a partner who can stand on their own 2 feet without fear or hesitation. Independent women challenge their narrative. They force them to confront their own inadequacies. And when a narcissist is confronted with a reflection of a life they cannot control, they often respond with confusion, frustration, or even rage. This is not because the woman is doing anything wrong. it is because she is a living proof of their impotence. But here's the most important takeaway. This fear is not a weakness in the woman. It's a confirmation of her power. The very fact that she evokes fear in a narcissist is evidence that she is operating on a higher plane of self-awareness and autonomy. It is a reminder that her independence is not just personal freedom, it is a form of resistance. By existing fully as herself, she challenges the dynamics of manipulation, she disrupts the patterns of control, and she illuminates a truth that narcissists cannot tolerate. Life can exist fully and authentically without their approval or interference. So what does this mean for you watching this right now? It means that independence is not something to apologize for, to hide, or to temper for the comfort of others. It means that every boundary you set, every moment you choose yourself over approval, every decision you make in alignment with your own values is a direct challenge to the control. Others might try to impose. It is not arrogance. It is survival. It is integrity. It is power. And the more you embrace it, the more unshakable you become. Remember this, the very thing that frightens them is the thing that proves your strength. The mirror they fear is a reflection of your autonomy. Never shrink from it, never step back from it, and never allow anyone, especially a narcissist, to make you doubt your ability to exist fully on your own terms. Because in your independence lies your ultimate power, and in that power lies your freedom. Now let's move deeper. Because understanding why narcissists fear independent women requires more than just seeing the surface. It requires understanding what true authenticity does to them. You see, narcissists do not just fear strength, they fear the kind of unstoppable authenticity that cannot be molded, tamed, or silenced. Independent women who live with this level of self-awareness and confidence are like a constant reminder to the narcissist that the world does not revolve around their ego, and that their illusions of control are fragile at best. Authenticity is dangerous to a narcissist because it is impossible to manipulate. When a woman knows her worth, she does not seek permission for her existence. She does not ask for validation. She does not apologize for her boundaries. And she certainly does not compromise her integrity to make someone else feel comfortable. Every time she speaks her truth, she exposes the dishonesty and insecurity that the narcissist relies on to feel powerful. And make no mistake, this is terrifying to them. It terrifies them because it proves that their influence is limited, that their carefully crafted persona of superiority is vulnerable, and that the woman they are facing is operating on a level of clarity and freedom they cannot comprehend. Think about this. Narcissists thrive on dependency. They rely on people bending to their will, on fear, guilt, and manipulation to maintain dominance. But an independent woman dismantles all of that without raising a finger. Her self-possession is her weapon. Her boundaries are her armor. Her choices, made in full alignment with her values and desires, are impenetrable to their tactics. She is not combative by design. She is simply real. She is simply herself. And that reality is unbearable to a narcissist. The fear arises not from anything the woman does to provoke them, but from everything she represents: a life unchained, a mind unshaken, and a heart unapologetically free. Narcissists cannot tolerate this because it exposes the core of their own deficiencies. Their identity is built on illusions, on control, and on convincing others that they are necessary. When confronted by someone who doesn't need them, someone who cannot be manipulated, someone who cannot be threatened or cowed, the narcissist experiences a deep, almost existential fear. They recognize that their influence is meaningless and that their dominance is a hollow construct that cannot survive in the presence of authenticity. And here is the psychological truth that so few will ever acknowledge. The more authentic a woman is, the more power she wields over herself, and paradoxically, over the narcissist as well. Not because she wants to dominate them, not because she seeks revenge or control, but because her existence highlights a truth they cannot accept. Every moment she lives in alignment with herself is a revelation that life can be full, meaningful, and self-directed without them. That is why they fear her. That is why they panic. That is why they try to manipulate, gaslight, or destabilize her. Her freedom threatens the very foundation of their identity, and they instinctively lash out because they cannot bear to be confronted with a life they will never know. But here's the lesson for you. This fear is not a threat to your power. It is proof of it. The fact that authenticity, clarity, and self-possession unsettle someone else is confirmation that you are walking the path of true independence. It is evidence that you are living on a level they cannot reach. And it is a reminder that the only thing you need to do is remain steadfast in your truth, unwavering in your values, and unflinching in your choices. So when you feel the weight of their attempts to control, when you see the fear in their manipulations, remember this: it is not about them, it is about you. It is about the unstoppable authenticity that shines through every decision you make, every boundary you enforce, and every step you take in alignment with your own life. It is about living without apology, and in doing so, demonstrating a power they will never understand. Never underestimate the force of your authenticity. The very thing that frightens them is the very thing that confirms your strength. To be authentic, fully alive, and untethered is not just liberation. It is victory. And the world and every narcissist in it will tremble in the presence of someone who refuses to compromise that reality. Now, let's bring this full circle, because understanding why narcissists fear independent women is one thing, but knowing how to act on that awareness is where real power lies. Key point 3 is simple, but it is also the most critical: never shrink and never compromise your independence. The more you embrace your power, the more unshakable you become, and the more you. Our life becomes proof that they can never control you. Independent women are not born. They are forged. Every challenge faced alone, every fear overcome without relying on approval, every decision made in alignment with personal values strengthens a foundation no narcissist can shake. But here is where many women falter: in the desire to avoid conflict, in the need to be liked, or in the subtle pressure to make others comfortable. Narcissists prey on this hesitation. They sense any gap, any self-doubt, any willingness to shrink, and they exploit it. But when you refuse to shrink, when you insist on living fully in your own truth, you become untouchable. Refusing to shrink does not mean arrogance or defiance for its own sake. It means asserting your boundaries clearly and consistently. It means choosing your own happiness over someone else's attempt to manipulate your emotions. It means saying no when it matters, even if they try to guilt, shame, or intimidate you. Every no is a declaration. You will not be moved. You will not be silenced. You will not allow another person's fear or insecurity to dictate the course of your life. And make no mistake, this is what terrifies narcissists the most, because they have built their world on the assumption that everyone can be manipulated, persuaded, or controlled. When they encounter a woman who refuses all of it, who cannot be shaken or coerced, who is entirely devoted to her own growth and freedom, they are confronted with a reality they cannot influence. Their power is revealed as fragile. Their confidence is exposed as hollow. And their fear becomes apparent in ways you can almost see: through frustration, through attempts to provoke, through a desperate strategies to regain control. But it will not work. Not if you stay steadfast. This is why your independence is not only your shield, but also your leverage. The more you insist on being yourself, the more you demonstrate that your life does not revolve around their validation. The more you cultivate self-reliance, clarity, and resilience, the more impossible it becomes for them to manipulate or intimidate you. And here is the liberating truth: you do not need to fight them. You do not need to prove yourself. You simply need to exist fully, unapologetically, and without compromise. In doing so, you assert a form of power they will never understand, and that power cannot be taken from you. It is also important to understand that independence is contagious. When you refuse to shrink, when you honor your own autonomy, you inspire others to do the same. You become a living example that life does not require permission from those who seek to control. And narcissists fear this because their world depends on isolation, dependency, and conformity. Every woman who embraces her freedom challenges not only their control over her, but their ability to impose the same fear on anyone else. But this is not only about defending yourself, it is about embracing the highest form of personal sovereignty. Your freedom, your boundaries, and your self-determination are not negotiable. They are your birthright. And when you live in alignment with that truth, no narcissist, no manipulator, and no external force can diminish your worth. You have moved beyond their influence, and your life becomes a testament to what true independence looks like: fearless, self-directed, and unstoppable. So here is what I want you to carry with you. Never apologize for your independence. Never let anyone convince you to shrink or dim your light. Every choice you make for yourself, every boundary you enforce, and every moment you stand firm is a victory. Your power is not just in your ability to survive. They fear you because you thrive. They fear you because your life is untouchable. And they fear you because they will never know what it feels like to live without dependence, without compromise, without the need to manipulate others to feel whole. Remember this and let it guide every step you take. The more you embrace your independence, the stronger you become. The more you insist on living fully for yourself, the more you embody a force they cannot confront. The world will try to pressure you, challenge you, and intimidate you, but your autonomy is yours to claim, yours to protect, and yours to celebrate. Stand tall, live fully, and never, ever shrink. Because in your independence lies your ultimate power, and in that power lies the freedom they will never be able to take from you.